Hey everybody, welcome once again to the Wrestling Inc. podcast. I'm Glenn Rubenstein, joined by Mr. Matt Morgan and Mr. Raj Giri. We're going to talk about Monday Night Raw for September 25th, 2017. How's it going, Matt?
Doing good. I want to just point out something. If you guys can see my eyes here, I promise I'm not high or anything like that. My contacts are drier than hell tonight, and I'm outside whenever I do this. Maybe it's the air, I don't know. But it's impossible for me to keep my eyes open without them floating around and drying up on me. And I apologize, it's not from Raw being super boring either.
So what did you think of the show tonight of Monday Night Raw?
Had good potential in the beginning. This was like the opposite for me. It was like the first half of the show I preferred better than the second half.
Interesting. Raj, what'd you think?
I thought it was a lot of filler, like a ton of filler. But the three segments, I like the Roman thing with the Miz, even though I thought it was absolutely stupid that they had the Miztourage get beat in the first match when they're building to, the Shield versus the Miztourage. I like the Enzo stuff, surprisingly, and I liked the Braun beating down Kurt Hawkins, but that was kind of it. Everything else just felt like filler to me. And then the Bray Finn Balor continuing just. Hey.
Well, let's start with that first segment. So, Matt, what did you think of that opening promo with Roman Reigns and The Miz?
I know they always tell us to be ourselves out there, and you'll be more successful by connecting to the crowd. I don't know. There's just something about him that's not very likable at times. He being Roman. Do you know what I mean? Like I don't want to say he's cocky, but they're not doing him any favors with who they're pairing. I mean, Miz is fantastic at trying to be a heel. He really is. But right now the fans are really feeling him and cheering him more times than not. He did a great job of finally getting his heat back, as a villain. But I don't know. I think it didn't do anything for him, I felt.
Yeah. And as a storyline where that's going, so they set that up for later in the evening with The Miz versus Roman, of course, with the Miztourage ringside. But Raj, is this actually heading where it seems like it is, with the Shield and the Miztourage being perhaps the TLC?
Yeah, that's what it's looking like. Obviously, I guess they feel like just the Shield reuniting is enough, that it doesn't matter that not the Miz, but Bo Dallas and oh my gosh, I'm so tired right now.
Curtis Axel.
Haven't had a win on Raw in forever. But that's clearly where they're headed.
Yeah. Speaking of which, the second match of the night was Curtis Axel and Bo Dallas versus Matt Hardy and Jason Jordan. How do you think this was as a showcase for Jordan, Matt, after last night at No Mercy?
Good. Anytime he wrestles, it's a good showcase for him, and it really doesn't matter against two. I mean, honestly, he's that good in the ring. Thought it was a weird combo for the two to be together. So it was incredibly weird that they've never really tagged together, and yet they were able to beat, Miztourage. And Miztourage doesn't do themselves any favor, though. I mean, they walk out dressed like total jobbers to begin with. If perception is reality, and that's what you're wearing to the ring, Bo Dallas, just look at yourself in the mirror and ask yourself, do I look like a world champion? Is this what a world champion would look like right now? Would he wear a leopard jacket with my gut hanging out and sunglasses and a sweet gold chain and trunks, or whatever the hell that singlet trunks are? No.
Maybe in some indie promotions that would go over huge.
It's brutal.
Yeah.
It's brutal.
I feel you. It's tough with these guys to make it really seem credible, and we'll talk about what happened in the match with Roman. But before that, we had the rematch of Elias versus Apollo Crews.
Wait, real quick.
Oh, yeah.
Back to this.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, Matt, since they're building to the Shield reuniting against the Miztourage, does it make any sense to have the Miztourage lose here?
No, it doesn't. But Jason Jordan's, like we were talking about last night, the story going into this match was we still got to keep Jason Jordan's momentum going. We got to tie in a loose end about Jeff Hardy being injured. That's the sub story we're telling. And tonight's just not your night, guys.
Sure, but they could have had them face Gallows and Anderson, Gallows
That's the
and
whole
Anderson
point.
or something.
You know what? Have that story told with two other guys or two other singles competitors or whatever have you.
Yeah.
You're right. It shouldn't have been told with those two guys. But again, I still think they don't do themselves any favors whatsoever.
Yeah.
I'm still watching the ending of Raw right now. See, I thought the girls finished the show, but I'm watching it right now with it's a
Enzo.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
It was really good.
Matt, pay attention to this. Let me do the DDP Yoga ad a little early here because I want you to see what's about to happen on Raw. So while Matt watches that,
they all walking out on it.
Yeah, let me just give a little shout out to the sponsor of this episode, which is DDP Yoga. So you've heard us talk about DDP Yoga, the DDP Yoga Now app, used by the likes of Chris Jericho, AJ Styles, Mick Foley, tons of other WWE stars, and amongst all those celebrities, all those professional wrestlers you hear about who love DDP Yoga, I want to tell you a bit about the regular folks who have been using it. And there is someone, Erica, a woman who struggled with weight her entire life, always got picked on, picked last for sports in school, bullied in school. The school nurse even made comments that she needed to do something to change her habits. Got so severe teenage depression, she actually tried to end her life. Got married, had kids, lost everything in a house fire, as if this could not get more tragic, this story. Luckily, no one was harmed in the fire, but 10 days after that fire, she lost her job. I know you're thinking, when does this turn around? Oh, no. Her health was bad. Her blood pressure was 200 over 100. She knew she was setting a horrible example for her kids, and then she saw the video of Arthur, the guy we talked about last night, and she started doing DDP Yoga, started to live a lot cleaner lifestyle, including better eating, the DDP Yoga workouts, and it turned her life around. She was soon off all her medications, including her depression medication, feeling great about herself, went from 326 pounds. She lost 160 pounds using DDP Yoga. Again, may seem regular, but this is just one of the many extraordinary success stories that DDP Yoga has produced. It can work for all ages, all weights, all fitness levels. It provides a kick-in-the-ass cardio workout with minimal joint impact, and that's why someone like Erica could start at over 300 pounds and still have amazing workouts to get down to her goal weight. We've got a deal for you. We want you to go to ddpyoga.com/wrestlinginc. Right now, they are having their fall sale, 20% off all DVDs and apparel using the promo code FALL17. That's FALL17. ddpyoga.com/wrestlinginc. Again, folks, this is a life-changing product, life-changing program. DDP Yoga could not be happier to have them sponsoring the Wrestling Inc. podcast. Raj, it's been, God, since even before my time, how long has DDP Yoga been a sponsor with us?
Man, it's been a couple years. They just do. I mean, it's an outstanding program, and it works. Otherwise, I mean, just the program itself has been around for so long, and so many people are using it, and it keeps going because it works so well, and it's just it's booming. So, I mean, that's just the bottom line. Is it works if you've been wanting to get in shape or make a change in your life, to do it. Just it's that simple.
It's so inspiring. And, I see the tweets, I see the posts online, the comments. It works for everyone. So please, ddpyoga.com/wrestlinginc, and send DDP Yoga a tweet. Let them know you heard about it on the Wrestling Inc. podcast. Love having them as a sponsor. While Matt's watching the fish.
Well, we're getting a live view of Matt's reaction.
He's killing them.
Yeah, he wasn't he. I mean, this was the best. So it makes sense with how Enzo's been booked lately.
It's great.
Just being so annoying because it was leading to a heel turn.
Yeah.
But real quick, I wanted to jump in on the Roman thing at the beginning. I thought Roman looked really way more comfortable on the mic.
He did
today than he has lately, and I think that maybe it's that Cena thing. Maybe he picked something up from that, but
the whole y'all, we ain't feeling that tonight, are we? Y'all, we louder than that, right, y'all?
Right.
Like, that's how he really talks. I can't really make fun of him for it. You know what I mean? Because that's him being himself. I just don't think it's going to translate. And it doesn't translate. It didn't translate tonight. He goes, no, we're loud in here, and it was a fart in church.
Yeah, that line probably should have been dropped.
And go back and get me a beverage.
I like that one.
I popped for that.
Yeah, I like
for that.
Yeah,
he called them boys. That was pretty funny.
Yeah, I like that.
And
beer is too easy. So,
and the little stutter, Matt, the Brock Lesnar that he did.
What was that?
He stumbled a little bit. I just was like,
Yeah, that happens.
I know. It's just funny. Yeah. Hey, when we're tweeting along with the show, man, I gotta find it's gotta be jokes to make, little snarky things to say, a little hiccup in a step.
Stealing your gimmick, Matt.
Absolutely. Speaking of which, love that Elias, when he tried to do his song, look, no one knows anything about Ontario, California. You can't do a song about Ontario, California.
Right.
It's an airport in a suburb.
And then the Young Bucks, the Bullet Club, were at a Hot Topic there earlier, and then invaded the Raw parking lot tonight. I'm not sure if you saw that.
No.
Yeah. We'll talk about that later, but yeah.
Oh, man. So Elias won again tonight over Apollo.
Yeah, just it was kind of like, if you didn't watch the pay-per-view, here it is. Except it looks like they're starting something with Elias and Titus, maybe.
Oh, okay.
So at least it gives him someone taller, I guess. I don't know. The matches will be worse.
And someone else to beat.
Yeah.
He's got to keep beating people.
Yeah, but the matches won't be good. I mean, at least Apollo can go. And there's no knock on Titus, but he doesn't wrestle full time anymore.
Right.
And Elias isn't that great in the ring either, so it's going to be a challenge.
Poor Apollo, man. Remember like a year and a half ago when there was talk they were going to do NXT Kids show on the network, do something aimed at younger kids? I feel like Apollo, that would have been the best thing that ever would have happened for his career. Because it seems like on the main roster, he just can't catch a break with a good storyline. His height hurts him because he weighs too much for 205 Live, and he probably doesn't want to go to 205 Live anyway. But just being shorter, because he's doing like 240 pounds, I think, and just being that short, it just pigeonholes him into a certain, to way the management views you, and I think he should be put in a tag team, honestly. I'm surprised with someone bigger. Someone bigger, yeah.
He's really good. He's really, really, really good.
Yeah, and I think if he had a tall partner, he could do some cool stuff, bouncing off of him. Make up for kind of like how you had Shawn and Diesel in the past, and the smaller guy with the big guy. And I think that you make use of his talent better than they're doing right now.
Yeah, the smaller guy's got to have a buttload of charisma to pull that off.
Well, he's got that smile. He's got a charm. I just don't think they've ever.
Big guy can't have. What's he doing with Titus? Technically, look at those pairings, and he's being blasted in every single promo by Titus. Titus is the one with the charisma.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be the other way around. The big, tall stiff's not supposed to have the charisma. Smaller guy like an HBK supposed to be the more the charismatic of the two, the talker of the two, the leader of the two.
Yeah. So let's talk about this promo Finn cut backstage. Now he did call Goldust a victim, but more importantly, when announced his intentions and plans of where he wanted to go next, he called a shot with the WWE Universal title. Raj, is anything actually going to happen in the near future with that?
That was the plan at one point, was for Finn and Brock. That was one of the rumored feuds for Lesnar. So I could see them going that way, and they don't have anything for Finn until Brock is back. So they're going to continue with Bray, which, Jesus Christ. But yeah. So I mean, that's what I'm guessing. I think it would have made way more sense to just have Brock and Braun again, because that was so hot.
Yeah.
And they, I was thinking they could have just done a DQ finish and had Cena and Reigns go on last, because it's, everyone hates DQ finishes. But they could have done something where Brock, accidentally hits the referee or something, but you can't tell if he did it intentionally or not to get out of the match. And so it kind of builds on that. Like if Brock intentionally got disqualified to save his title, Paul Heyman's not sure, and that you use that to build to a rematch and do that in a cage or something. So I don't know. I just think they kind of blew what could have been a good series.
Agreed. So we'll talk more about that feud continuing. But first, Kurt Hawkins versus Braun Strowman. Seemed like they were hitting a big reset on Braun tonight, giving him a brutal beating of Kurt Hawkins.
Do you see his back?
No. Did they give him a medical update? I mean, it seems weird to say it, but did they do even an update on Kurt after that?
No. I mean, they...
Somewhere out there's like 3 Kurt Hawkins fans that are saying, I hope Kurt's okay.
Yeah, there's the photo will be going up on Wrestling Inc. here soon.
Okay.
But his back, it just looked jacked. Oh, he took one for the team. Looked really bad.
Wow. How is it, Matt, when you plan out something like that? So you being on the end of giving a beating like that, how do you work through that and prepare that?
Incredibly grateful, incredibly respectful. You know, and saying, "You sure you're okay with this, man? This is really cool of you to be doing this. Like, seriously, I really, you know, I cannot thank you enough for this." That's how I always went about it.
Yeah.
Maybe that's overboard. I don't know, but that's how I always did it. Because I always did appreciate it. Shannon Moore let me beal him rather, from like in the middle of the ring onto the ramp. And it was my first singles match right after Survivor Series. Our team lost to where John Cena and Chris Benoit were the final survivors. It was John Cena's very first. It was his face turn, actually.
Yeah.
It was a cool history lesson. I was involved in the segment that turned John Cena babyface.
Wow.
But anyways, that was my first singles match, and we were trying to prove to Brock that, you know, we'll make it up to him, kind of a thing. So me and Nathan and Big Show had to go have singles matches and look just monstrous. I was up first versus Shannon, and Shannon just kept thinking up all these ideas to make me look like a freak. And one of them was bailing him over the top rope onto the ramp, like over the carpet onto the ramp. And I remember going like, "Are you sure about this, dude? Like, come on, we can do something different." Like, "Nope, do that." And he goes, "I've seen you pick people up over your head and like run them into the ring from the outside in, and you know, like in a power slam position, and just let me fly like a lawn dart through the second and third rope into the ring on my face." I said, "Wow, thank you, Shannon. This is incredible of you. Thank you so much, man." Yeah. You know, so just overly grateful. You know, a lot of gratitude. There's other guys that don't do it that way. Most of them don't, quite honestly. They're not dicks about it, but they're like, "Well, the agent says we got to do this," you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I assume it's also a lot different when it's local enhancement talent versus the guy you're going to see the next night.
And who needs to be on the road making money? Shannon needed to be working on the next night doing house shows, you know, making his money, not being hurt. So,
yeah,
you know, Kurt got banged up pretty bad tonight, but I know he knows going into that was going to happen.
Yeah. And what did you think of the decision to have Ambrose take on Braun after that?
I thought that was cool. I thought that was pretty cool. I don't like that Braun had to sell as much as he did. You know, I think if you're going to do it, then I'm sorry. He's just got to annihilate him as well. Yeah.
And next week it's going to be Braun versus Seth. So they're really rebuilding him quickly after the defeat at the hands of Brock Lesnar.
Now's the time to get these victories in, because you can blame them on being tag team wrestlers. You can blame, you know what I mean? They can get away
they're
with
not being pushed right now.
They can be. These can be considered, like when they look back 6 months from now of a little history lesson of who Braun's beaten. I mean, you throw out there Ambrose, you add Rollins and Ambrose now to the category. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
You know, 6 months from now.
No, I agree.
3 months.
No, you don't have to do too much to rebuild Braun. It's not like
to make him look like a freak. That's all.
It hurt him a little last night, but not greatly. It wasn't like he was buried or anything. It just
right.
He was just beat a little too easy and quick, and it won't take too much. But yeah, I liked it. I mean, you're giving him some wins over like real names, so he can definitely use that.
So, Matt, I know you might have a little bias in this, being friends with Mickey, but what did you think of the segment with her and Alexa tonight?
She's still not being the Mickey I know. You know what I mean? As far as her promos go, she's still a little, I don't know what the word is for it. She's not as confident as she used to be when we used to work together. You know what I mean? I don't know if that's a WWE walk on eggshell mentality. You know what I mean? I don't know what it is, but Mickey's usually a lot more confident than what we've been seeing lately.
I thought she was good tonight, though. You didn't think so?
She was better, but she's still nowhere near that Spitfire babyface badass that I wrestled with in OVW for years, man. She was a bad. Ugh.
Yeah.
She was better than half of us, man. She was better on the mic. She had better punches, better kicks. She was just built to wrestle, man. Seriously.
Yeah. I don't know. I thought this was really good. I thought her kicking Alexa and schooling her at the end. I thought
it was good for her. It was a good angle.
No, I thought Alexa was good. I thought this was a great women's segment. I forgot earlier when I was saying this stuff I liked on the show. This was definitely one of them.
I thought for two women on Raw going toe-to-toe on the mic, this is the best.
Yeah. Okay. Yes.
Yeah.
Best in, I mean, I can't even think of the last good that was equally weighted where they were really able to throw jabs at each other and have it land.
Probably Sasha versus her.
Yeah, even that though. Sasha sometimes
Wasn't as good as this.
It wasn't as good as the timing. They had the timing tonight. It was snappy.
I keep forgetting to point this out. I know it doesn't make sense. It needs to be pointed out. You guys probably already talked about it, but last night on Raw, what is it? Raw Talk is Raw.
Oh, Raw Talk. Yeah.
Enzo was money, and I'll just shut up.
Yeah.
God, he was so good.
He was so annoying.
No, see, I wasn't annoyed by him. I thought he was freaking hilarious. I thought he had a quip for everything.
Yeah, and him and Jerry going back and forth, that was great.
I thought he was so annoying, but I thought it was perfect for where they went tonight. Like I thought it just it helped. They've been trying to make him annoying, and he's been getting booed. And
he sells merch. I'm still surprised they turned him. Their age-old thing of not turning people that sell merch. I was very surprised.
Yeah.
I don't find him annoying. I don't know
why. And that's the thing tonight. So tonight built off Alexa's comments about Mickey last night. And I mean, look, I don't know how long they're going to keep this going, but I feel that I'm more excited about this feud than I can't remember the last one on Raw that had a kickoff segment that was this good as far as a promo went. So, I know
the match is going to be good too. You know,
easily. Even compared to the way they were doing, we'll talk about with Bayley and Sasha, but with that, they're trying to build something, but they're not committing to it. So I thought tonight that was great.
Right. Yeah.
Love that tonight. And after that, Sheamus versus Seth Rollins. So this was kind of back to what they've been doing for a while, but Cesaro was out there.
Crisscrossing.
But after last night, I mean, it made sense, right, Matt? You had to have Cesaro come out there, capitalize on the momentum they got after that last night. I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but that seems more, that almost stole the show last night in terms of being what people are talking about still. I saw more updates about Cesaro today than I saw about Cena putting Reigns over on Raw Talk.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah. It could just be my circle, but that's what I kept seeing pop up today. It was talking about Cesaro's dental surgery. And did you know his teeth didn't come out? They got shoved up into his face.
Oh, my God. Really?
Yeah. They were like up into millimeters in his gums. I know.
Wait, really? I thought.
Pain. Oh, jeez.
Yeah, they didn't come out. They went up, but they repeated it tonight. It was 3 millimeters. They went up into his gums.
Holy crap.
That's way worse.
Seriously, tooth pain is the worst. Nothing's worse.
Yeah, absolutely.
What a tough bastard to go for another.
You know what?
You mentioned that standing ovation last night. God, that's well deserved.
Right?
Jesus.
You know what, though? Moments like this, I think Cesaro, look, everyone knows he's incredibly gifted in the ring. Anything that gets people more interested in what a badass Cesaro is ultimately a good thing. So Seth Rollins won that over Sheamus tonight. And then after that, they set this up. Okay, so Goldust, it seemed like against Bray, there was an organic opportunity to do a face turn. But nope, Goldust attacked Finn backstage tonight. And setting up their match for later in the show. I thought that was interesting. We'll talk about
face turn for who?
For Goldust. I felt like he had some natural sympathy from the audience after Bray attacked him and wiped the makeup off. But Goldust has always kind of been tweener that way.
Yeah.
So Roman Reigns versus The Miz. We talked about the promo at the start of the show, but what did you think about the match, Matt? And specifically, I want to know what you thought about how long that beatdown went on afterwards, because that was extensive.
It really was extensive. It was overkill. But, the stuff with Goldust, though, earlier, I just think he's filling a spot, you know what I mean, of what they need right now. He's just being a utility player to help add to a story.
Sure.
You know what I mean? I think it's pretty badass when you have one of your agents be able to throw his gear on and say, not only am I the agent of this match, but I'm going to put myself in it and help tell a different variation of the story to help it. It's really, really cool. And it just goes to show you what kind of shape he's in. No other Arn Anderson ain't doing that. No other agent's doing that. Like, that just shows you the shape, and not to do a cheap plug here. I don't get any money out of this, but how good DDP Yoga really works.
Yeah.
For real.
No, seriously.
I liked it. I did like it, though. I like both guys, so it's hard for me not to like a lot of their stuff.
I feel like both with what they did with Bray and Goldust and now with Finn and Goldust, it being sort of these little afterthought matches, that's my only disappointment. I think there actually is a great story to tell with a Bray and Goldust feud. And I think there's a great story to tell with a Finn and Goldust feud.
I do too. They're just never going to give him that time, I don't think.
Yeah.
No. And by the way, Goldust is not an agent now. Is that what you guys were saying?
Yeah, you sure?
Yeah, he was an agent in his previous run, and but he's not now.
He's strictly just talent?
Yeah. Yep.
You sure?
Mm-hmm.
Can't imagine him just sitting in the locker room chilling in between matches or at the Gorilla or not going over matches with guys. But I mean, obviously, I'm wrong if you say he's not an agent.
Yeah.
Yeah, and made up, no less.
Because he's not working much like that. That doesn't make. I don't know.
He's still doing all the live events and everything.
Yeah.
All of them.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, he was
twice this weekend.
Okay.
Yeah.
There you go.
And he was getting chants from the crowd. I mean, he was over getting a pop every time he stepped into the ring. So people know him. You know, he's what I mean, who's been doing this longer? But who's been doing this longer than him? That's still wrestling in the WWE from his era.
It's amazing. Attitude Era.
Yeah.
Wow.
Full time.
Yeah.
So
it's incredible.
Yeah.
You get the casuals, man. They still know him, so they still pop for him.
I do gotta say, as soon as Bray's video hit, I was just like, oh, for fuck's sake. Oh, for fuck's sake. This is what they got. He beat him 2 pay-per-views in a row. I hope they don't have Bray go over if they do wrestle again, which is what it looks like they're doing, because
counterproductive.
Yeah, there was talk that Cena's match at Survivor Series will be with Bray again. So
really,
yeah. So we'll see.
Interesting.
That's an okay match. I mean, I saw that match this weekend. We've seen it before. They do.
It seems very far-fetched just because John's being this vehicle to help get guys to that next level. Why Bray needs that I don't think he needs it from Cena. He needs a complete overhaul. He needs time away, so people miss him, and he comes back as a babyface or something along those lines. Go back in time when he was first working Cena and he was doing the whole world in my hand gimmick. The whole arena was chanting that in the middle of the match, booing Cena terribly in that cage match, and he was so over.
Yeah, he's kind of
screwed it up.
Yeah, he's a dead top character right now. Like they use him for top guys to beat.
Right,
but they could be doing so much more with him, and I've said this in the past. I think a babyface run would help him out. It'd freshen him up.
Take some time off though first.
Yeah.
Although I'll tell you, I think a reformed Wyatt family would be better against the Shield reunion than the Miz Taraj would be.
Oh my God,
for sure.
Oh hell yeah! Remember how over that series was? Wow.
Oh man, dude, that one match they had, it was like the February pay-per-view, Elimination Chamber or Fastlane, whatever it was called that year, and that match, it felt like something from the Attitude Era. The people were just on their feet, going nuts. They were just going insane.
Anytime there was like a matchup with them in the ring, not a matchup, just like a face-to-face.
Yeah.
The lights would go off, and the 3 of them would be in the ring, staring a bullet hole through the Shield, and the Shield was already super over. Like the crowd would go bananas.
Yeah, that was one of the hottest things WWE's had in a long time. That was a tag feud, And
I want to say it was a time when they were about to do stuff with Evolution.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah, the Shield and Evolution. That was right before they broke up. I still thought the Wyatts was hotter, but Evolution was really cool too.
Maybe if they keep it going past TLC, if the Shield needs a feud to go to after they defeat the Miz Taraj handily, maybe it'll be the Shield.
See how you laugh when you said that? That's what a joke.
I'd like to see that match because it was such a good match, but it's just such a retread. Just for Bray Wyatt. Yeah.
Would you ever see the Miz Taraj versus 3?
I mean, yeah, and that's.
I'd rather see like the Balor Club. I'd rather see Gallows, Anderson, and Finn.
Oh,
Finn turn heel, and that would be awesome.
I think
that would.
I think, and
they're all on the same brand.
I would bet at catering, if not every week, every other week, Gallows, Anderson, and Balor just standing around, and Michael P.S. Hayes walks by or something, and Carl Luke just goes, well, us 3, make it happen, and then just gets shook off, with the chuckle every week.
You want to know something? For sure, I bet you that happens to some degree.
Yeah.
Well, they're different brands now. For what it's worth, Harper and Rowan are supposed to be being repackaged somehow and come back as a team, but I don't know. It's too bad. Harper, yeah, exactly.
Oh, yeah,
Harper is just wasted right now.
Oh, I mean, they couldn't even get in on the Fashion Files culprit thing, and that was the original plan. That they were like, nah,
no one
keep
really
it
ever
unsolved.
did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man. So I could see them doing that after both the Mr. Rush thing. Okay, so my question is just going to be: are they going to put the IC title on Roman between now and then? I mean,
No.
we've got the match next week. How do you think that ends with Roman versus the Miz next week?
I think
Is it for the title?
Yeah.
The Mr. Raj
It's got
attacks him.
Mr. Raj attacks, sets up the 6-man tag.
Yeah.
And they do another beatdown, and then the following week you have Seth and Dean make the save.
Yeah. I think it makes the Shield reunion more impressive if Rollins and Ambrose have the tag titles and Roman has a belt. I think that would be.
It would be more impressive if the Mr. Raj had all the belts, you know?
Yeah, right.
But I mean, like,
dude, they don't get no belts, but freaking the Jobbers of the Year belts.
But it just makes. But what I mean
anymore.
is, it just makes them look more, more on the sad side of that match. You know what I mean? On top of that, they're all, you know, the Shield all have titles as well. You know, like no one expects the Mr. Raj to win.
Roman just beat John Cena clean. I mean, I don't think. I don't think he's losing to the Miz. You know.
Yeah, that's why I say, the Balor Club would be hot if they did something with that.
Really, really would.
Oh man, what could be? But yeah, Bray and Finn, that's still happening.
And Finn has said in interviews he doesn't want to go back to doing the whole Bullet Club thing in WWE.
You say why?
Yeah, he said it would just feel like you're going back to something as opposed to moving on. It could be just a company line.
AKA, I want, you know, and I don't blame them. We all want to be single stars.
Yeah.
That's where the money is.
That's true. But you can still be a single star and be in a group. Like The Miz.
Yeah.
Miz, yeah.
Except Mr. Raj does him no favors, in my opinion. I think him and Maurice were more effective than with these guys. Even though obviously they can't do Maurice, but
I was all for this, by the way, at first. I was like, this is going to give these guys a new look, even though they're starting off kind of very uneventful and kind of like jabroni status, the way Miz was saying how they should be, you know, in the group. Basically, they acted really tough in the movie. You know what I mean? That's what he said. You know what I mean? The way you're acting and da-da-da-da-da, that's the guy I know you are and who you need to be. No, he was acting in a role, Miz. But I don't know. Bo Dallas is a stud. Like I go back to those FCW days. He was so full of potential. I remember as a kid being a teenager. I kept thinking of a shorter version of bear with me here, Barry Windham.
Mm-hmm.
I really did, as far as his fire, and he had a natural fire to him. And between the two, I was like, he's by far and away going to be the bigger star because his brother's a fat slob. That's what I kept thinking. And then, seriously, he really was the retread of the two. If you go back and watch, he was. And then, wow, just goes to show you can't be too sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think with the Miz Taraj, it's just that Bo and Curtis don't even look like they're having fun. At least in the Social Outcasts, they had sort of a goofiness about it. They knew it's like, okay, we're in the do a job position, but at least we're gonna have fun with it and go out there and have some.
Because they're being relegated, and they know they are. You know, maybe they're probably happy to be on TV. No question, they're making more money because of it. But in the back of their heads, I know Curtis Axel. He's very competitive. I know he thinks he should be getting more than what he's getting, and I know Bo, I'm sure, is if he's any kind of a athlete, which I know he is. I'm sure he's thinking the same thing.
Yeah.
So it's coming across on TV, in my opinion, with haphazard perform. There's not really much for them to perform on, but their body language, you're right, is screaming like, I really don't want to be doing this.
Yeah. But they're going to main event the next pay-per-view against the Shield. So.
Likely.
If not, this is will be a huge tease that people will be irate about. If it doesn't
you know what this reminds me of? It reminds me of when The Miz was teaming with R-Truth, and they had The Miz and R-Truth against John Cena and The Rock at the Survivor Series. You know, it's just like the whole
two guys together for them to lose to.
Yeah, it's just the whole selling point is just that team and them being in action, and it doesn't matter who their opponent is.
I agree.
But I think if they want to keep it going, if they want to add a couple more pay-per-views, they need to find someone that that would be a challenge or a threat.
Yeah, I agree with that. So after that, the women's tag match of the evening, which was Emma and Nia Jax versus Sasha Banks and Bayley, with a slight little tease about maybe something between Sasha and Bayley backstage, but they got the win over Nia and Emma.
Bayley running in place, basically.
Yeah, I have no clue.
The finish of that match was so stupid.
Yeah.
Goes to the top rope, misses her by a mile by jumping over her, and then just to get to the Bayley to back, whatever the hell it's called. It was a very lame finish. Very lame. She jumped off the top rope over a charging, what's her name? Our girl, Emma.
Yeah.
And Emma takes a buckle, turns around, and eats a belly to back. Bayley to Bayley, whatever the hell it's called.
Belly to belly? Belly to belly?
Bayley to Bayley? Belly to belly?
Bayley to belly. Whatever the hell it is. Like, that was really lame.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the closing segment of the show, Enzo Amore gets his celebration out there. Confronted by the entire cruiserweight roster for the 205 Live roster, who he roasts some of them. Neville comes out, stares him down, cuts the best promo I think Neville's cut in a long time. Ends up charging into the ring and attacking Enzo, forfeiting his chance to get a title shot against Enzo, but doing it on behalf of the cruiserweight division. Matt, what did you think of this? I mean, I
don't like Enzo being a heel.
Yeah,
I know they're booking it off of reality. He's pissing everybody off. I get that. I find him very entertaining. I mean, hopefully he can still be entertaining as a heel. I just think their merch sales will be down with him, obviously, because of this.
Yeah.
They will, but I thought Enzo was so great here as the heel, like just with his me against the world attitude. I thought he did great. I thought he was awesome in the segment, and I was kind of shitting on him winning the cruiserweight title, but it's true. This is, I mean,
Look
and
what
granted,
it did.
yeah, I mean, granted, this isn't really the main event segment. During football season, the main event segment goes, at the end of hour 2. But
they still close out the show, though.
They still close out the show. And it builds interest in 205 Live tomorrow. I'm more interested in 205 Live tomorrow than I'd probably have been in a year. Yeah.
Since Austin Aries is working against him.
Yeah.
For me.
Yeah, absolutely.
And a lot of reality. I mean, I think this played nicely into all the cruiserweight tweets last night,
And Neville, when it was clearly a double turn, and him doing the red arrow. He doesn't do the red arrow as a heel, but he did like a perfect red arrow tonight. So.
To me, though, all the guys, all the cruiserweights, hating on him on Twitter, to me, they were the heels.
But Enzo
that's just my opinion.
Enzo was kind of ripping them all and talking about how he's the star, none of them are.
He's talking truth as far as, look, you guys keep
truth.
bragging that you guys are these great workers and you have these great work rate and 5-star matches. How much money did you make with that, kid? Like, that whole attitude, he's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
This is an entertainer's business, man. And you've got to be able to talk. You just have to be able to talk. You've got to be able to be entertaining. And I think he's entertaining. And I think the people did. But I'm telling you, there's something missing when he comes out and there's no big Kaz. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's what hurts him with saying the same cliche line over and over in all of his entrances.
Yeah.
He should have been building something different every week. And he's talented enough to do it. As you saw last night on Talking Raw, whatever the hell it's called, I thought he was on fire.
Yeah. Well, I thought he was entertaining as hell here. I thought he was really good. And I thought Neville was good too. People are pointing out he has done the red arrow, yes, but usually his heel move is to get the people to pop for him going up for the red arrow. And
gets right back down. Yeah.
But I liked it.
That promo had weight and emotion. Even the thing about these were the guys saying to give you a chance. I mean, that was freaking complex for a WWE promo to bring in that level. I mean, really, I thought this is so good that even if you haven't watched 205 Live, this tells a story now where I feel like I understand it's going to be a unifying factor for the rest of the roster, and giving someone a common enemy, whether he's supposed to be a hero or a bad guy, that's how you tell a great story, because people rally together when they have a common enemy.
Do you think Neville You think they might move? Nah, they probably won't.
Tell me.
Like, do you think they might move into the main roster with that storyline that he can't get a title shot now because he attacked Enzo?
Oh, that would be great. I would love that.
Yeah.
I mean, they could easily do. They could easily do that.
8 months. I would kill for that. I think that would do that show a great bit of justice. It'd pick up, well, Finn and Seth, when they work, they pick up the pace of the show for sure. But not like Neville can.
Yeah.
You know, the only thing that sucks is Neville would have been a very good heel on Raw, a very useful heel for them to use for a multitude of different talents to go against, because he's that damn good as a heel. He's excellent.
And I hate saying this over and over. And people are going to say this is like me saying everyone should turn heel, but he should move to SmackDown. There's too many giants on Raw right now. And I think Neville on SmackDown would be
versus AJ. Awesome. Give me him versus AJ for the U.S. title. I'd kill for that.
That'd be amazing. And Nakamura, Bobby Roode. I mean, it'd be awesome.
Yeah.
What's up with Bobby Roode, by the way, real quick?
He's feuding with Dolph Ziggler, so they're keeping him off of TV to build for that pop for when Ziggler, keeps ripping on entrances and Bobby Roode comes out.
Because other than when his first 2 matches in the first 2 weeks, I don't remember him doing anything.
No, he hasn't. They did a video package 1 week, and then I don't think they did anything at all last week. He's been wrestling dark matches.
I don't understand why.
I think it's just that. I think it's to build for that pop, to kind of build for that surprise pop when he comes out for Ziggler.
You think he'll get that? If he's only been out there 2 or 3 times?
It depends where they do it. If they do it in a smarter city,
that's true.
They'll pop huge for it.
Yeah.
Well, he's going to be at Hell in a Cell. Where's that being held this year?
Let me double check.
Oh, the new Little Caesars Arena in Detroit.
So they'll be. I guess they'll be around the Midwest around that time for SmackDown taping. So I don't know. We'll see. I think they'll pop.
Yeah. So, all in all, Matt, what did you think of tonight's Raw?
Didn't like it. As a whole, I didn't like it. There's parts and elements that I did like. I thought the second half was brutal, except the Enzo segment at the end. But usually they get better as the show goes on. You know what I mean? There's usually some sort of cliffhanger at the end of the show in the main event picture, or maybe something to that effect. Intercontinental level, like with that, what was it, the 6-pack challenge last week? There's usually something like that where something kind of sort of big happens. And I just felt nothing kind of sort of big happen except for the Enzo segment. I don't know. I just give it a C+. No, I give it a C.
Wow. Raj?
I thought that Enzo segment saved it for me because I was really bored in that third hour. I was losing interest quick because what was before the women's match?
That Finn.
Is that
Finn and Goldust? Yeah,
so it was doing nothing for me in that third hour until that Enzo segment. But the Enzo thing, Braun, the Alexa Bliss, Mickey James segment, and stuff with the Mistourage I thought was good. So C+, B-, somewhere in there. Overall, I found it decent. It just way too much filler, way too much stuff that didn't mean anything.
Yeah. Which I appreciated about tonight's show, actually. I was telling Raj before I got on the air, I was like, this felt like SmackDown before the brand split of that, who cares? It's a SmackDown. Let's just do some random stuff. I thought it was kind of fresh for that reason, but I could see where some people wouldn't like that, I'm always a fan of anything different. But let's talk about the tail end of the news last night. So John Cena on Raw Talk put Roman over hard, as we saw the clips tonight. But Raj, what does the WWE have in John Cena's future with the company now that he's gone off to do some movies?
Well, it's looking like Bumblebee for a while, and then probably Bray at Survivor Series. So he's not retired, and he's made that clear. So I wonder if he sees this, though, as the end of his wrestling career as he has known it for the past 15 years, which is working live events and doing all that.
Definitely. He can't do it.
Right. I mean, he's probably moving into a Rock schedule now, what Rock was doing for a while, where it's kind of pay-per-views and Raws. After
15 years, he deserves it.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I'm not shitting on it. I think I'm surprised he's went this long. Anyone on top for that long, it's amazing. Yeah. I mean, Hulk, he worked a full-time schedule on top like that for maybe 4 years, 5 years.
Right.
Undertaker went a long time too, but Cena with all the Make-A-Wish stuff he does and outside appearances, I mean, the dude busts his ass. He's underappreciated in a lot of ways, because I think people don't always give the respect for how hard he works. And maybe he is getting that now, but
he is.
He's a beast.
And it was announced this afternoon he's going to be in a new buddy cop film co-starring with Camille Nanjiani that Universal, I believe, is putting out. So he's probably going to shoot that after Transformers.
He's getting those big roles. It's not it's not the Hulk Hogan roles that Hulk Hogan was getting, when.
But that's what's smart about it. That's why it failed the first time, because the Marine in 12 rounds.
Well, that was just getting his feet wet. That wasn't a real. But I mean, The Rock was in, The Rock was in some C movies as well.
Yeah, but Trainwreck turned it all around for John Cena's acting career. I think people started to see him in a new light, see that he's self-deprecating, willing to do stuff a little different. Because these roles he's getting casted, I mean, yes, the Transformers movie is an action movie, but it's not the mold of the Schwarzenegger, the Stallone, the big guy, comes in and blows everything up. Which is where I think it's working well for him. And that's why he's going to get a lot more work now, because people have seen that he's got range.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
So lastly, let's talk about the Bullet Club. The Young Bucks, Cody Rhodes, outside of Monday Night Raw this afternoon.
Yeah. Me and Matt are going to disagree on this, but it came across to me as a low-rent DX spoof.
Oh, God.
Yeah. I told you we're going to disagree on it.
Let's poll the fans. How about that? Fans listening to the show right now, I want you to flood Raj's email with your opinion on this subject. Seriously. What do you guys think? Do you think that's a DX knockoff? It's corny and cheesy, or you're like, go Young Bucks / Cody?
All right. Yeah, so we just got one comment real quick. Addison Tubbs, I agree with Raj.
Listen, Allison Tubbs.
Someone else wrote DX ripoff.
Hey.
Yeah.
And they already posted it on YouTube. So after this, go watch it. It's already up on YouTube. Being the Lead, episode 73.
Dang, so far, Matt, everyone's agreeing with me. So if you guys agree with Matt, jump in.
Listen, then stop wearing Bullet Club shirts to the damn the arenas then, Marks. How about that one? You're either all on with your lead or you're not, you posers.
Here's what I don't like about it is that you watch all the Monday Night Wars stuff, and what does everybody on the WCW and WWE side said? Oh, we should have let him in. We should have brought him into the building. Think how money that would have been. And then this happens this afternoon, and it doesn't go anywhere.
WWE thinks they're way too big, and to their credit, they are.
Yeah. But they know. I mean, that was the story that I've seen repeated online, that it was at WrestleMania when Hot Topic said, yeah, we see all these Bullet Club shirts here. How come you're not selling them at Hot Topic with your WWE merchandise? They're like, oh, it's not a WWE thing.
Wow.
They had to put them in touch with New Japan to make that deal happen. So WWE knows the power of Bullet Club as a brand. I know they think they're bigger, but they know in terms of merch,
it reaches a hardcore base. It's a small hardcore base.
Look in the arena. Look how many of those black T-shirts you see. There's tons of them.
Sure, but how many people are actually watching those shows?
I'm talking about in the arena.
Right, but people
Raw
are.
Arena.
So it's a small percentage that will wear that merch. You know what I mean?
It's a bigger than you think it is. I shouldn't be able to notice it.
What
you're talking about?
No. What I'm saying.
Up on TV.
No. I agree. I agree with you. So there are probably more Bullet Club shirts at a lot of these WWE events than
any other WWE shirts.
Than a lot of the WWE stars. But it's reaching a small fraction of the wrestling crowd that's hardcore, that they all wear that shirt, whereas the broader audience does not wear, a wrestling shirt.
Well, being that they don't come across a wrestle in front of a big audience like that, of course not.
Right.
My point is, can you imagine if they did?
I don't know. There's so many of these guys that It's great in front of an indie crowd, but if you put them up in a mainstream audience,
they're in any situation. I'd say you're correct. They usually fizzle, but their work is so damn good. Their combo, dude, there's no tag team that can hang with them on this planet. There's no tag team that can do the combo moves that they do together. They're incredibly inventive.
You think WWE would allow them to do half of that stuff?
The combo moves, no question, because they're always double.
Like all those the 50 super kicks and
don't tell them to chill on those for sure. But that's not what's getting that's not, in my opinion, when I watch them, that I'm like, oh yeah, this is exciting. A lot of the fans like the super kick party stuff. I'm not that big of a fan. I'm more of a fan of their combo moves, their basic double shoot offs. And one does one thing, one does the other. Like they do everything in perfect unison, and it reminds me of the Rockers a lot of the time. They do everything in tandems. It's cool to watch, and it's real tag team wrestling.
They're talented as hell, but I don't think they would get that far in WWE. Just based on their size, because you see how the guys that are that size are treated.
I do, but we also said this. Everybody said the same thing about AJ.
AJ's not skinny. AJ's not skinny.
If you watch the Young Bucks, they're getting fat.
That's worse. Skinny with a gut doesn't work. Doesn't help. Yeah, I honestly, from what I've always seen with WWE, I think I enjoy watching the Young Bucks. I just think they do too much of the DX stuff. No, the DX stuff bugs me because they do too much of it. If it's just the sign, if it's doing the suck it here and there, but just everything they do, it looks like they're just ripping off DX. Like they got no other ideas of their own other than in the ring.
Other than suck it, I think they rip off NWO more than anybody else.
Well, that too. DX, NWO.
They're like the band Steel Panther, like saying this is a tribute to that time that we all loved so much in these bands we loved back in the metal days. I think, but that's the charm. Here's my question: why are so many people watching it?
They're not.
You watch their YouTube hits?
Yeah, but that compared to what? Okay, you're talking about. Okay, for
watch being
what the wrestling audience is now
and subscribe.
Okay, fine. If you're talking about hundreds of thousands of people, fine. If that's a lot of viewers, but I mean, they got 132 subscribers to their YouTube channel.
132,000.
Yeah.
Oof.
Right. And WWE has what, 10 million or something?
You can't compare it to WWE.
I'm not 20 million. WWE. Well, then what are you saying? A lot of people are watching.
I just know when I turn on SmackDown or I turn on Raw, I see. I'm telling you right now, I more times than not see the majority, not the majority.
You see a decent amount.
I would dare say 30% wearing those shirts.
You're nuts. 30%.
Especially NXT, I'll even say 50 to 60%.
You're nuts. We'll have to. We'll have to.
I'm gonna start screen capturing shit, and we'll show you.
Yeah, we're gonna have to do that.
We'll get out the laser pointer, like the football play-by-play, and start circling everyone in the audience.
And I'll add one more. I don't think Okada would be successful in WWE either. And I think Okada is talented as hell in the ring, but he does not have that charisma, promo ability that would get him far in WWE.
You got to be able to speak English at the end of the day. That was my biggest fear for Nakamura. As charismatic as he is, he's more charismatic than anybody. You still need to be able to talk on the microphone. And that broken English stuff hurts him. It just does. I knew it would.
Yeah. At least, he's got the charisma that it's getting him far enough. We'll see where he is in a year. Yeah. But Okada doesn't have that. He's got some.
I don't understand what they're doing. Like, if I knew I was coming over to a foreign country, or if I was coming to America, WWE, I would be in English class nonstop. That's all I'd be doing in between my workouts is, taking these classes so I could speak full English.
Yeah, but
I could be a millionaire versus a guy that makes, I don't know, $600,000. I don't know.
Right, but the problem always is you're still always going to have that accent, and that you're never you can't get fluent.
2 leveling degrees yeah.
And then doing the crappy WWE comedy, the scripted comedy, when you have also the accent and everything, the punchlines don't hit when they're writing it for. They kind of write the same for everyone. So they're writing the same lines for a Nakamura that they would for a Seth Rollins. And that makes it tough as opposed to letting him, kind of do his own thing. But anyway.
So that about wraps up for this
bit of a
episode.
tangent there.
Matt, what would you like to plug before we take it home here?
Please, guys, again, I'm running for city commissioner here in Longwood, Florida. I can use as much support as possible for my campaign. You guys, if you guys really want to help me out here, I couldn't. Last night, I want to thank you guys, you two, for donating. First and foremost, thank you guys. You didn't have to do that. I really appreciate it. But to the fans out there that are fans of mine or fans of the show that want to help me try to make a change in my city, you know, for the place to be a much, much better place than what it's been, please help me out. You can do that by going to Matt Morgan for Longwood.com. Matt Morgan, FOR, Longwood.com. And also, if you guys are looking to change your diets and actually get in like really, really tight shape, but you know you're working out in the gym and you're not really seeing those results, and you're quitting earlier than you really want to, you know what I mean? It's not the gym, guys. It's not lifting. It's not the cardio. It's your damn diet. If you cleaned up your diet, I promise you, you would see at least a 60 to 70% improvement in your physique. Look at my pictures on Instagram, guys. That shit ain't steroids. I'm 270 pounds going into these competitions. I'm not getting bigger. I'm getting smaller, but I'm getting shredded as fuck. And I'm doing so by eating my butt off cleanly. Every meal I eat is clean. Okay? And that's the biggest difference. I wish I knew this earlier in my wrestling career. I'll tell you that right now. I'm embarrassed at my wrestling photos I look back at by comparison. And I'm 41 years old. So how does one do that without taking steroids? Clean eating. If you really stick to it, it makes a world of a difference. And I have an incredible menu where the stuff tastes good. And it's simple to order. It's $7 per meal, guys. No meal prep service is a cheaper line than we do as far as expenses go. Shipping is generally between $40 and $45, depending where you live in the country, usually. Nothing is more inexpensive than this. There's a 14-meal minimum order. And just try it out. Try it out for a week. See what you think. And I can help you put together your plan as well. If that's what you need help with, I'd love to help you with that. It's fun to help people change their physiques and watch their confidence grow. And for those of you that, you know, wrestling fans get a bad rap. They do. They get a bad rap for always being out of shape. They always have this stereotype that they're these guys laying on a couch, eating Doritos, out of shape with a clicker in one hand, Doritos in the other. And I don't think that's true anymore. And I know you guys are trying new workout, pre-workouts and protein shakes. That stuff's that's only going to get you so far. It's what you're eating. You want to get bigger, you got to eat. You want to get more shredded, you've got to eat. Everything is you've got to eat, and it's got to be clean. So hit me up on Instagram, guys. DM me, and I'll send you out the menu, and we'll put together your nutritional blueprint.
Awesome. Thanks, Matt. Raj, what should people look for on Wrestling Inc. in the coming days?
Our full Robbie E interview, Laurel Van Ness. There's the EC3 conference call, media call we're going to be on. Just tons of stuff. The October is going to be a busy month. We got, 2 pay-per-views, Bound for Glory, 2 WWE pay-per-views, Bound for Glory. So tons of stuff coming up.
And of course, I'm out this Wednesday. I'll be back next Monday night. But who's subbing in on Wednesday?
Chuck Carroll of CBS Sports will be subbing this week.
Cool, man. So I'll be back next Monday, and be sure to tune in Wednesday for Chuck and Raj. And until next time, folks, I'm Glenn Rubenstein. We'll see you back here on the Wrestling Inc. podcast. Take care.